Hello everyone, myself Sheetal Bukkawar from Saraswati College of Engineering, Kharghar, Navi Mumbai, and I am working as Dean Administration and Student Welfare at Saraswati College of Engineering. You can see this is our college which is situated in a beautiful lap of a nature. It is situated at Kharghar, Navi Mumbai. Talking about the Saraswati College of Engineering, it is a NAC accredited college and our motto is learn, lead, achieve and contribute for the betterment of society. We have several branches like civil engineering, mechanical engineering, automobile engineering, computer engineering, information technology, and we are very proud to announce that from academic year 2021, we are starting with the two new branches, that is computer science and engineering in data science and computer science and engineering in artificial intelligence and machine learning. Our DTE code is EN3154. So today we will see that what is MHCET exam, what is the paper pattern of MHCET exam, what are the different preparation tips for scoring good marks in MHCET exam. As you all know that MHCET exam is required to take the admission in engineering. So first thing you should ask to yourself is engineering is for me? For that, the answer of this question, if you want, then you should first know that what is actually a engineering means. Engineering or engineers are nothing but the problem solvers. They work on the real-time problems which are faced in our day-to-day life by the society, and they find a solution for it. So to finding the solution for it, they make use of available technology and they serve the society with the solutions. They use the concept of maths, science and computers to solve this problem. The very first question which is coming right now in the mind of 12th student is how to score in MHCET, because every one of you know that depending on the score of MHCET, you will get the admissions in the reputed or good engineering colleges. So let's see how to score in MHCET exam. Now, the MHCET exam, or to prepare for the MHCET exam, there is one specific mantra. Now, what is the first thing you should concentrate on? That is, you should focus on concepts. See, if your basics or if your fundamental concepts of physics, chemistry, maths is very strong, you can easily score good marks in MHCET exam. So you should always focus on the basics or on the concepts of the subject. Self-assessment. This is very important, students. Self-assessment means what? You should assess yourself that on what topic of which subject you are strong and in which topic you are weak, so that you can more concentrate on the weak topics and you can convert it into your strong topics. For this self-assessment, what you can do? You can solve or you can practice more and more CET exam papers. For this, on our website, on our college website, that is sce.edu.in, you can find the mock CET tests. I want to tell you that these mock CET tests are designed by the professionals who actually conducts the MHCET exam for the Maharashtra state. So you will get an exact idea or a clear idea about the MHCET exam. So you can visit our website and you can appear for this mock CET test. Good health. If your health is good, you can study well, you can score well. But if your health is not good, then there will be some problems you will face while studying the subject. So first of all, you should take care of your health. Stay positive and confident. You should always positive for your goals in your life. If you are positive, if you will decide that yes, I can do it, you can easily score in your MHCET exam. Of course, hard work is also required. You should be confident enough that yes, you can score it. And how this confidence you will get? By solving more and more practice tests or mock CET tests, you will gain a confidence that yes, you can solve all type of questions. Talking about the MHCET exam. What is MHCET exam? So, this is nothing but a Maharashtra Common Entrance Test which is conducted by the government of Maharashtra for the admission in engineering colleges. That colleges may be university managed or unaided institutes. This is the exam which is conducted for taking admission in engineering for Maharashtra state, India. What is the exam pattern of this MHCET test? So there will be two papers, that is paper 1 and paper 2, which will be of a duration 1.5 hours each. Each paper will be of 100 marks. Now out of this, the paper 1 will be based on mathematics. Now that paper will be of 100 marks and will be of a duration of 1.5 hours. Similarly, paper 2 will also be of 1.5 hours and of 100 marks, but now this paper 2 is based on physics and chemistry subject. Take a note that both the papers will be online. That is, you have to give the online MHCET exam. You should know that there is no negative marking for your wrong answers in MHCET exam. This is a very important point. Now for preparation for MHCET, first you should know that what is the exact syllabus for this exam. So students, the total syllabus of MHCET exam is actually made up of 80% of the syllabus of your 12th exam. That is the State Board of Secondary and Higher Secondary Education Board. Based on that syllabus, you will get 80% of questions, and remaining 20% questions will come on the 11th standard syllabus. So 80% will be from 12th syllabus and 20% will be from the 11th syllabus or 11th curriculum. All the questions which come in the MHCET are actually application based. So if your concepts are strong, you can solve many more questions in the exam. You have to answer, as I already told you, you have to answer the questions based on mathematics, physics and chemistry. Some important tips for MHCET preparation is you should prepare your own notes, so that while preparing the notes, you will get clear your concepts and you will revise the things. You should make a proper timetable so that you can give more time on to the topics in which you are feeling that you are a little bit weak, and you can spend less time on the points which you have already done, that is, you are strong at. You should seek a guidance if you are having any difficulty. You should seek a guidance from your subject experts. You should practice more and more mock tests so that you will be confident about your preparation. Time management is very important while preparing and while solving the exam also. Otherwise, if there is no proper time management, you will come to know that you have solved only half of the question paper. So time management is very important. You should practice the previous year's question papers also, so that you will get to know that how exactly the questions come in the MHCET exam. And revision is very important for any type of exam. How actually the admission process done up till year 2019. Before that, we should know that what is the eligibility or what should be the requirement for the student to take admission for the engineering. Seat allotment, that how the seats or admission seats are allotted to the students. All this allotment and all this process is actually supervised by the Directorate of Technical Education, that is DTE. So all this eligibility criteria and admission process is also as per the DTE rules. Out of the 100% of seats from Maharashtra state, the 65% of admissions are done by the central allotment process, that is CAP process. And this process is totally supervised by Government of Maharashtra. These 65% of admissions are done through the MHCET exam. This year, this will be MHCET 2020 exam. Out of remaining 35%, the 15% of admissions are again done by the CAP for the Maharashtra state candidates and other than Maharashtra state candidates through either JEE or MHCET 2020 exam. And finally, the remaining 20% of seats or admissions are done at the institute level quota, which is also known as management quota. For first year admissions, that is for taking admission for the first year engineering, a candidate should have passed the HSC exam or 12th exam. Now, for general category, he should secure the 50% of marks in this exam, and for the category student, 45% marks is minimum. Candidate should have valid MHCET or JEE score. Then only he is eligible to take admission in first year engineering. And admissions will totally be depend upon the marks obtained by the candidate or the student in MHCET exam. That is, a merit list will be displayed, and according to that merit list, the admissions will be done. Now let's take a look at the admission process which was followed till year 2019. All the circulars, all the schedules regarding the admission procedure with date and time will be displayed on DTE website. So you should make a habit of checking the DTE website regularly. When students want to take the admission in the engineering, first he should know that what are the different types of colleges are available for taking admission in the engineering. There are various types of colleges like government college. Now government engineering colleges are entirely run by the government of Maharashtra, and they follow the syllabus and of university to which they belong to, and their exams are also conducted by the university. What is the benefit of such college? That is, the infrastructure is very good, fees is very less, and you will get a very experienced faculty over there. Then another type is government college but autonomous. Now autonomous means what? Autonomous colleges are those colleges who design their syllabus by their own and who conduct their exams by their own. There will be no role of university for such colleges. These colleges are government autonomous colleges. That's why these are also run completely by the government of Maharashtra. What are the advantages? Again, good infrastructure, experienced faculty, and fee concessions can also be availed here. Now, unaided autonomous. Unaided means private organizations or private institutes. These are private institutes but autonomous. So that's why they also design their own syllabus, they also conduct their own exams. Here also they have a very good infrastructure. Unaided non-minority engineering colleges. Now these are the private institutions, but they follow the syllabus which is set by the university, and for such students the exam is also conducted by the university. These are also having very good infrastructures, and fees concessions, scholarships are also available. These are non-minority colleges, so they can accommodate a major portion of students. Then unaided minority engineering colleges. These are also private institutions which follows the syllabus of university, whose exam is also taken by the university. But now these colleges are for specific minority, like Muslim minority college, South Indian minority college, Gujarati minority college. So these are what they accommodate a specific group of students or minority students for their college. For understanding the admission process, you should first understand some concepts. So we will discuss first it. Facilitation Center. What is this Facilitation Center or FC Center is? This is the center where the facilities like filling online forms, verification of documents, uploading of documents and grievances are provided. These facilitation center or FC centers are nothing but some of the engineering or normal colleges which has been authorized by Government of Maharashtra to help the students who want to take admission for the engineering. So these centers list will be displayed on the DTE website. So you can visit to nearby facilitation center from your home and you can go and fill your online application form. You can verify your documents there. You can upload your documents there and you will get a receipt of submitting the online application form from this facilitation center. Institutional quota. As I told you, institutional quota is also known as a management quota. These are the seats available for admission to the eligible candidates. Eligibility we have already discussed. So for such eligible candidates, the private institute can give admissions without the cap process. So that is known as a management quota or institutional quota. Minority quota. The colleges who are having a minority status can give the admission to a specific minority community. This institution, if it is belonging to any minority, like if it is a Muslim minority college, so more minority students from the Muslim category will take admission to such college. There are various scholarship schemes are available by the Government of Maharashtra or by the India for the specific category students subject to some specific conditions. ARC, that is Admission Reporting Center. After the admission process, when the students are allotted a specific seat of admission, they have to confirm their admission by visiting this ARC, that is Admission Reporting Center. They have to visit it, they have to confirm their admissions, and they should collect the receipt from this ARC stating that they have confirmed their admission in so and so college. So these are some important things you should understand for understanding the admission process in 12. As we have discussed two centers here, that is Facilitation Center and ARC Center. Now let's see what exactly the difference between these two. So FC Center means what? This is, as I told you, some of the colleges which is authorized by the Government of Maharashtra will have internet, printer, scanner and some persons over there to help you out. Now what type of work is going on at the Facilitation Center? So filling the online application form, verification and uploading of the scanned documents like your mark sheets and other things, then submission of your online application form, printing of your online application form, as I told you, verification of documents, then finally generate a receipt of application confirmation that you have applied for the engineering. An online option form may also be filled at the FC. This online option form is nothing but the preferences of yours for taking admission for the specific branch and for the specific engineering college. This option form you can fill from your home also and you can fill it from the FC Center also. Second is ARC, Admission Reporting Center. Once a seat or engineering admission seat is allotted to any student, he or she should visit to the nearby ARC and should confirm the admission and should collect a receipt of the confirmation of admission. Now let's see what is the admission process, how the admission process actually happens. First, depending on the marks scored in the MHCET exam, the provisional merit list is displayed. If there are some problems in this merit list, like some sequences are wrong, some names are wrong, then such type of grievances can be submitted at the FC Center up to a specific deadline. After that deadline, a final merit list is displayed by the DTE. After that, available category-wise seat matrix for all the institutes and for the Maharashtra state will be displayed on the DTE website. What is seat matrix? That we'll see afterwards. And this seat matrix is displayed for the CAP round, that is Centralized Admission Process rounds 1, 2 and 3. There will be 3 rounds of admission. After that, the candidates or students need to fill up and confirm the online application form. And maximum 300 options of engineering colleges according to the branch the students can fill in the option form. How the provisional merit list is prepared? That is totally depends upon the marks obtained in the CET exam. But there is a possibility that 2 or more students have got the same marks at the CET exam. So how to break this tie? For that, a specific things are considered. Like if there is a tie in the CET exam score, then the higher marks of mathematics in the CET exam scored by that candidates are compared. If that is also same, then physics at CET exam is compared. Then if that is also same, then the higher percentage of marks secured in the 12th exam in the PCM group by that candidates are compared. If it is also same, then the 12th mathematics exam marks are compared. After that, physics of 12th marks are compared, and finally the highest percentage of marks in the aggregate of 12 is compared, and depending on that the tie is break. Seat matrix. See, this is very important. Seat matrix means what? It is nothing but a bifurcation of the total seats. That is, for example, I'll take an example of my college. In my college, we have an intake of civil engineering of 180, out of which 120 is shift 1 and 60 is shift 2. So if you will see, here you can find for the civil engineering branch, the total intake is 120. Sanctioned intake is 120. Out of this 120, how this seat is bifurcated category wise, then again general and ladies. General means boys and girls. L means only for girls. So how these 120 seats are bifurcated depending on the category like open, SC, ST and likewise. How it is divided among the Maharashtra state, then other than Maharashtra state, depending on the general and ladies category. Then again some seats are there for the institute level quota or management quota. So all these type of bifurcation of seats is nothing but a seat matrix. So from this you will come to know that if you belongs to the OBC category, then how much seats are available for a specific college for the general or for the ladies category. So this type of seat matrix will be displayed on the DTE website for every institute. Online option form. As I told you, you can give maximum 300 options of engineering colleges. So how to fill it? You can see here, you have to first select the course, which branch you want to take admission, then in which university you want to take admission. After that, depending on that, you will get a list of the institutes which are having that branches. Then depending on your preferences, you have to give 1, 2, 3, 4, like 300 preferences of your choice, and you can fill it in this online option form. Now after this, first CAP round will be done, CAP round 1. Now there will be, depending on your option form and depending on the marks scored by you in the CET exam, the allotment of the seats will be done, and that will be displayed on the DTE website. Now, if you are getting the whatever admission seat you have got, if you are satisfied it, then you have to report to the ARC. Now, before reporting to the ARC, you should understand that in CAP round 1 and CAP round 2, there are 2 options are available, that is freeze and not freeze. So if you are satisfied with the seat allotted to you, you should select the option freeze. And then you have to visit to the ARC to confirm your admission. And if you are not satisfied and you want to go for cap round 2 or cap round 3, then you have to select the option not freeze. Now, the students who have got the first preference from their option form, it is auto freeze for them. They don't have to select the option freeze, it is auto freeze for them. So what they need to do, they have to confirm their admission by visiting ARC and they have to collect their receipt printout from ARC. Now, those who have got the admission seat but not satisfied, they have to select the not freeze option and they can go for the cap round 2. Now, cap round 2 will be a round same as that of cap round 1, and there is one facility available for you, that is you can again edit your option form. So before cap round 2, you can edit your option form, and again depending upon your marks and your option form, you will get a specific admission seat at specific college. Again, if you are happy with the seat allotted to you in cap round 2, select the option freeze and visit to ARC to confirm your admission. But if you are not happy with it, then you have to select the not freeze option and you have to go for the cap round 3, which is the final round. Remember that even if you are choosing the option not freeze for cap round 1 and cap round 1, still you have an option to take an admission to the seat allotted to you in cap round 1. That is still open for you. But if you are getting the other option, then you have choice to take admission to any one of them by visiting the ARC center. Cap round 3. Cap round 3 is the final round. So again, before cap round 3, you have an option to edit your option form, but now freeze and not freeze options are not available for cap round 3 as this is the final round. So who goes for the cap round 3? The candidates who have not allotted any seats in cap round 1 or 2, or the candidates who are not satisfied with the seats allotted to them in cap round 1 and 2. So before cap round 3, vacant seats will be displayed on TTE website. Then again you have to edit your option form if you wish. Freeze and not freeze options are not available for cap round 3. Finally, the result of round 3 will be displayed. Now, this is final allocation of the seats. So if you are happy with the seat allotted to you, visit to ARC, confirm your admission. And if you are not happy with it, you have to go for the management quota or institute level quota seats. Because this is the final round, now whatever seat is allotted to you in cap round 3 is the final one. So if you are not happy with it, don't go to ARC. You can still try for the management or institutional quota by visiting the specific institute you wish to take admission. So after all final rounds, you have to visit the ARC center. There may be possibility that some students who had got the admission at cap round 3, but due to some circumstances or unavoidable reasons, they may not visit the ARC center to a deadline, specific deadline. So if such conditions happen, then your admission is cancelled. After that, if you want to take the same admission, you have to visit to that institute. But then it is not a cap admission, it will be a institutional level admission or management quota admission. Let's have a look for some of the colleges from the Mumbai and their cutoffs, that is MHCET cutoff. This is VJTI college, which is having a different branches like electrical, civil, mechanical, information technology, computer and ENTC engineering. You can see these are the different categories of caste, and for that these are the rank and the percentile marks that are cut off. Like for electrical engineering for open, the percentile cutoff is 99.53. These are the cutoff for the year 2019. This is another institute, Sardar Patel Institute of Technology of Mumbai. You can have a look on the cutoffs and the ranks of MHCET for this college for the different branches. DJ Sanghvi College, which is a Gujarati minority college. You can have a look for the different ranks and cutoffs. Let's talk about the educational loan. As you know that there are several banks who offer the educational loans for the payment of the fees of tuition fees and hostel charges and the books or like other stationery allowances for the students. For such kind of educational loan, there are specific types of documents are required for the banks. Likewise, your income certificate. Then there is one fee structure required for the institute to which you are taking admission. The institute gives you the fee structure which you are supposed to submit to these banks for the loan process. You can approach the different banks for this loan process. And for the same, if you want to see the list of banks which are registered under the government of Maharashtra for the educational loan, you should visit this website, that is www.vidyalakshmi.co.in. Under that, the student category, you will get the information about the different types of banks who are giving the educational loan. For our college, that is for Saraswati College of Engineering, we have already signed Memorandum of Understanding, that is MOUs, with 2-3 banks, which will help students in getting the educational loan. And from our college side, we are providing the complete assistance for the same. Apart from the education loan, the very important question comes in the mind of the students is, can I get any scholarship? Yes, these scholarships can help your parents also to manage their finances. So, the answer of this question is yes, you can get the scholarship. But for the scholarship, for every scholarship scheme, there are specific conditions. What are that conditions? That we'll see in the subsequent slides. But one important condition is you should do well in your studies for all these 4 years. Then you are eligible for any kind of scholarship. Now, if you are a minority student, that is, if you are from a minority like Muslim, Christian, Sikh or Jain or Gujarati like that, then you will get a scholarship under the scheme or from the state or national minority scholarship scheme. However, these students will not get any kind of concession in the fees at the time of admission. That means when you are taking the admission to any college, you have to pay the full fees. But afterwards, under this National Minority Scholarship Scheme, you will get the amount returned to your account, bank account. But at the time of admission, you have to pay the full fee. For different kinds of scholarships, for different types of scholarship schemes, you can visit the 3 important portals, that is National Scholarship Portal, AICT Scholarship Portal and Maharashtra Scholarship Portal, so that you will get an idea that what are the different scholarship schemes are available for different categories and for different income slabs. Here I will share some only few scholarship schemes with you depending on different castes. For example, if you belong to the SC category or SC caste, and if your parents' income is up to 2.5 lakhs per annum, we are talking about the annual income, and if this income is certified by the Tahsildar. Now, how it is certified? So, Tahsildar will issue an income certificate for yourself. So, if you get that income certificate which is certified by the Tahsildar and your income is 2.5 lakhs per annum, then from the Government of Social Justice and Special Assistance of Department, you are eligible to get the scholarship under the scheme of Government of India Post Matric Scholarship. If you are from SC category and your annual income certified by the Tahsildar is more than 2.5 lakh, then from the same department but under the different scheme of scholarship, that is post matric tuition fee and examination, that is free ship, you are eligible for the scholarship. Obviously, the amounts of scholarship will be different. If you are from the open category and your income is less than 8 lakh, which is certified by the Tahsildar, then from the DT you get the Rajeshri Chhatrapati Shahu Maharaj Shikshan Shulka Shikshavritti Yojana scholarship scheme. And likewise for the other categories also, like VJNT, if your income is up to 10 lakhs, then under the Department of VJNT, OBC and SBC Welfare Department, you will get a scholarship under the scheme Post Matric Scholarship to VJNT student, to SBC student and OBC student respectively. Now, for this scholarship, you should have different documents. Like you should have your caste certificate if you are from a category student. If then you need your income certificate, as I told you. Then you will need a domicile certificate also stating that you are resident of Maharashtra, your all mark sheets. These are some of the important documents along with the fee structure which you will get from your institute for all these scholarship schemes. So this is about the financial assistance you can get in the view of education loan or the scholarship. Now, what is the advantages of engineering degree? So obviously, if we are talking about the digital India, if we talk about any area, any type of company, let it be food industry, let it be dye industry, let it be machinery or software industry, everywhere engineers plays a very important role. Without engineer, no firm can work. So by doing this engineering degree, you will get a great salary. There are so many opportunities, as I told you, in small towns, in big cities, small companies, big companies, international or national sites, you have ample amount of opportunities. It is a very respectful career, opportunities to benefit the society, to work for the society, to serve for the society. You will get a chance to interact with the talented people. You will get opportunity by doing your hard work to make a difference. Now, what are the different sectors who hires the engineers? So it is not like that कि engineering होने के बाद you will get the jobs in the private sector only. No, there is a government sectors like DRDO, MTNL, NPCL. You can get a jobs at these sectors also. There are IT sectors like Infosys, TCS, Capgemini. You can get jobs in these IT sectors also. There are various construction firms, consulting firms, engineering services firms, manufacturing companies where you can get a job. Construction management firms are there. Then in defense also engineers are required. So this is an energy like a power plant and etc. You can get a job at these different sectors. So there is a various opportunity. Talking about the placement cell, training and placement career guidance cell at our Saraswati College of Engineering. So in our college, we invite various companies like TCS, Capgemini, Infosys, IBM, KPIT, Polaris, Reliance, Parametrics, Ericsson, Vodafone. So you can see there are so many recruiters who have already visited and will visit in future also, and the list is increasing every year. They come to our college, they take different rounds of placements for our students like GD, PI, then aptitude test, and all this. By taking these all rounds, they recruit our students, they take placement of our students. So this is what our recruiters, some of our recruiters I have listed here. At Saraswati College of Engineering, we believe that student should be academically also strong and should be all-rounder also. So as per the hobbies and the choices or likings of the students, we have different types of clubs we have different types of student chapters and committees at college level. Like student council is there who take care of all cultural activities. NSS team is there who take care of or who do various social activities all over the year. ISHRE team, technical. Every department of our college has its own student clubs where students conduct the cultural, extracurricular, technical activities. EN cell members. EN cell is the cell or the committee of the student who wish to start their own business. So they conduct the different activities to guide the students who want to start their own business after engineering. We have Young's Inspirator Network, Art Club is there, Sports Club is there, Orator Club is there. So all our students are part of one and another club as per their likings. Dance club, music club, fashion club, drama club. These are some of the social or extension activities which are carried out by our students, like Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, blood donation camp, donation to orphanage. Then tree plantation. We have adopted one village near Navi Mumbai, that is Borimal Pada, where our students visit every year. They have constructed a dam there. They have constructed a ferro cement water tank. Because of this, the villagers are facing a problem of water crisis over there. So because of these initiatives took by our students, the villagers are now happy because they have they have solved the water problem a little bit. Then we used to conduct a Ride for Pride event, which is the exhibition of the super bikes. And whatever revenue we generate by this exhibition, we donate it to the martyrs' family. Then we believe that students should not only have the theoretical knowledge, but they should have a practical knowledge also. They should see or they should feel that how exactly the companies or industries work. For the same, we used to organize different industrial visits for all the branches like Akashvani, Chandigarh, then Uttam Galva Steel, visit to Metro, Tata Motors, visit to ISRO, so that students will get a feel that how exactly the industries are working. These are some of the glimpses of the EN cell. As I told you, so many big personalities come to our college to guide our students. This is also some of the glimpses of EN cell. You can see the Sindhutai Sabka also visited to our college and guided to our students. Then we conduct extracurricular activities like Constitution Day, Women's Day, Cultural Day. We celebrate the Holi, Ganesh Utsav, Dandiya. All these festivals are also celebrated by our college, by our students. These are also some of the glimpses of the different cultural activities like fashion show, dance, drama, sports. Marathi Day we celebrate, so we have the Dhol Tasha Pathak also on that day in our college. Because of these activities, our college is very famous in the newspaper. So these are some of the press releases regarding our college and regarding the activities conducted by our college. Now in year 2019, Times of India Group, actually they do the survey of all the institutes. I'm very proud to tell you that at national level survey done by the Times of India, we stood 17th rank, 70th rank among the all colleges of India. And if you will see the list of only private colleges, so our rank was 58. So this is the rank given by the Times of India in their survey of year 2019. This is all about the financial help which you can get in the view of the education loan or scholarship, and some glimpses of our colleges, that what different clubs and what different activities we conduct. Thank you very much. If you are having any queries, please mail us. Our mail ID is available on our website, sceedu.in. We have already posted the FAQs, which are generally in the mind of the parents and students on our website under the admission tab. Please visit our website and get answers of all your questions. Thank you very much.